You spend thousands of dollars on branding, maybe tens of thousands of dollars. You have a new website, new photos, and you have a new strategy, new content calendar. And somehow you're still being overlooked by the people you want in the room. Here's what no one is telling you. It's not a marketing problem. It's a perception problem. And until you fix that, my friend, every dollar you spend on visibility is amplifying the wrong signal. Let's get into it. So let's call a thing a thing. You're a high capacity leader with 20 plus years of experience. You have real results, real credentials, yet sometimes you still feel invisible in rooms where you should be the obvious authority. So, what did you do? You invested on the outside. New brand identity, new website, new headshots, new brand strategy, even a new social strategist, and another funnel, only to encounter 6 months later the same problem, but more expensive. Here's what I need you to understand: you don't have a visibility problem. You have a self perception problem with a marketing budget attached to it. Yikes. Here's the painful truth: marketing amplifies whatever signal you're broadcasting. So if the signal is fragmented, the amplification is fragmented. You just got louder invisibility. Yikes. Here's the thing. Let me give you a practical example. When I first started in the online space in creating and amplifying my voice and my thought leadership at the time, and I'm not sure if people still do this, but there was a lot of paying for followers, paying for likes. You know, those follow parties where, hey, someone who already has a lot of followers, you tap into them and then you do like for like, I'll follow you, you follow me. And that way we have grown to 10,000 followers, a lot of vanity matrix. Now, the problem that I always saw with this, and I've always advised against doing that, is because what happens is you will attract people and you will grow your follower count. But are those the people that you want to do life and business with? 9 times out of 10, it's not. So while you have all of these big numbers, you may have quantity, but you don't have necessarily quality. And so while you have louder visibility, it is not strategic visibility. So I want to talk to you about the two ROIs, return on investment. There's two of them. There's a linear one, right? And this is where you may spend $5,000 on a brand refresh and you get a refreshed brand. You may spend $10,000 on ads and you get impressions. You spend money on a strategist and you get a strategy. It's transactional. It stops when the spend stops. And it amplifies the signal you're already broadcasting. Now, the other ROI is this compounding ROI. And this is where we get into this self-perception alignment. You start to shift how you see yourself, and then every piece of content is sharpened. You shift how you see yourself, and every rate you quote rises. You shift how you see yourself, and every room you walk in receives you differently. You shift how you see yourself. See the repetitive thing here. And every offer you make converts at a higher level. It doesn't stop, it just compounds. It touches every future asset, every conversation, and every opportunity. Now, here's the math that no one really gets into, right? You can do a $15,000 branding investment and it's recouped once. A self perception shift recoups itself with every contract, every speaking fee, every program enrollment, every introduction for the rest of the career. So, what am I getting to? What am I trying to tell you? That there is a hidden cost of skipping the inner work. The inner work impacts everything that you do out here. So underpricing yourself, You're leaving maybe 20 to 40% on the table per engagement, declined opportunities. So the stage you didn't pitch for, diluted positioning. So this content that hedges instead of declaring the truth. You end up having misaligned clients. So the wrong people saying yes because the wrong signal attracted them. You end up having founder fatigue. So the cost of carrying a brand that doesn't match who you really are. And all of those examples I have experienced firsthand, was the president and had the club t-shirt. The thing you have to understand is you're not behind in your marketing. You're actually ahead of your self-perception. And the gap between those two things is costing you big time. So before you invest another dollar in marketing or branding, I want you to audit these three things. Number one, we're going to call this the mirror test. So when you describe what you do to yourself out loud, do you believe the words or are they performative? Do you believe what you say about what you do? The next is the room test. When you walk in a room or when you're with your peers, do you carry yourself as a peer or as someone hoping to be accepted? Then we have the rate test. This is a big one. This is a doozy. When you quote your fee, do you flinch, hedge, discount before they ask? That flinch is the signal that your marketing is amplifying. If any of these things are misaligned, no amount of branding will fix it. You will just have a more expensive version of the same problem. This is why order matters. This is why we have to have identity, visibility, authority, leadership, impact. This is key. This is it. If you skip any of these, it will collapse. If you skip identity, you're building visibility as a phony. If you skip identity, you're building your visibility in misalignment. If you don't grab a hold of your visibility being power, then you're not going to be able to own your own authority. You see it? So order matters. Identity, visibility, authority, leadership, impact. So before you invest in your next strategist, your next rebrand, the next funnel, I want you to take some time and invest in the foundation. And that's some of the things that we do when we walk people through the visibility roadmap. We deal with that identity or positioning piece first and foremost, because everything is built off of how you see yourself. I can't build a community if I'm not first, what? In unity, community, unity with myself. I can't. I can't be the voice in my industry if I have not reconciled and made peace with my voice first. So this visibility roadmap, the information is under this video. We've put a link here, and this really is a pre-investment audit that honestly every high capacity leader should run before spending any more money on your marketing, on your visibility. Because visibility without identity isn't power. It's noise with a very pricey price tag. So, if this reframed how you're thinking about ROI, I have to say that really slow. The next video in this series is going to really challenge another assumption you didn't know you were making. I'll see you there.